Hello everyone, hope you're all doing great. Welcome back to my channel, and this is the second video on my channel. I remember that in my first video I told you that I would be sharing my experience meeting my supervisor and the tips that he gave me, but I am yet waiting for his approval for preparing that video. Meanwhile, I was thinking of why not to share my learning of preparing a table of contents, because that is the first thing you should know: proper documentation, how to prepare your thesis report. So thesis report and any other I would say skills related to prepare good reports is something which is going to help you. So if you can see that on your screen, I have prepared something just for a sample. Let's say it's a story of a man who went towards a desert, and I just created it just like that, and many statements I copy pasted just to give a look of a report. So it's not a plagiarized document, it's my own document. Okay, now for example, you have a report and your title, like this title, of course, that is the first page, and we are going to we are talking about the table of contents. So let's start with the introduction. So what I can do, if I don't know how to prepare a table of contents, I would give it the first title, introduction, and I would say that is my second one. I can make it history of desert. After the introduction is my second point, and then the third point, and then I would go like that, and I would make the fourth point. It's really tiring. You don't have thesis report comprised on 10 or 20 or 15 pages. It's 250, or sometimes depending on your topic and the quality of method that you are using, it can go beyond 400 pages. So your introduction is your first chapter, and it has also pages, and it's really difficult for you if you don't have a table of contents. So we are not going to follow that. However, we are going the easiest way, which is already part of Microsoft Word documentation, and I would just show you in a few seconds. All right, we are removing all these numbers, and if you see on the top here, we have heading 1, heading 2, and title and subtitle, things like that. So for preparing table of content, I would use the heading 1 for my main title of a paragraph. So for example, if I have introduction paragraph, so I would go for heading 1. You can see that it changed its look, and there it's something in triangle shape, and it's showing that it's going to lead towards that table of content later on. Like the same I'm going to do for history of desert. So I would put my cursor here, and I would select, and I would make it heading 1 again. Okay, the critical part of the journey, I think it's also heading 1. And okay, now this is something I really want to show. For example, introduction, and then the history, and then the critical part of the journey. First part of the preparation is the checklist that he had. And within the checklist, if you notice, you have first aid kit, a knife or multi-tool box that he was using. So what should I do for that? It's because these are the sub part of one part. So what Microsoft has, you will make it heading 1, but for them, you can make it heading 2. Okay, so we are going to quickly do it heading 2. All right, and these are the parts of the same topic. Heading 2, heading 2 again. Okay, challenges that he faced, it doesn't seem to be the same as we had here. This is the part of checklist. This is another thing. So we are going to call it heading 1 again. One more thing, and then the first challenge. Okay, so first challenge, it's again the part of it's coming under challenges part, so we can call it heading 2 itself. But you can see that I'm missing numbering, right? So I can easily give a number. So for example, I would say first part is introduction, my second part is history, of desert, and then the third one is the critical part of the journey. The fourth one is the first part of the preparation checklist. Now within this, these are the subparts, so I would call it 4.1, and then I would call the second 4.2, and like the same I would go 4.3, compass would be 4.4, scarf or a dust mask, it would be 4.5, and starting a fire tool or whatsoever, I would call it 4.6, and that's it. Now how many did we have? Okay, this is 4, this is 3, this is 4. Okay, so now I can move to 0.5. I would move to 0.5. All right, and this is the first challenge, so I would call it 5.1. Now we are going to see what happened to our document when we are looking for the table of contents. For that, we would move to references, and within references, if you see, there are already built-in automatic table of contents. Let's say we choose this one and see what happened. We got introduction, history, the critical part, the first part, and whatsoever. But we can see that it is placed at a wrong page. Why? Because when I was going to the table of contents, my cursor was here. So I can easily take it from here. I can move it. Okay. I would move it and I would go on top and I would place it here. So that is my table of content, and it has already pages. Pages, you don't have to worry about the pages, so they are the part of it. All right, so what we were talking about, if you see closer, let me maximize it. If you see closer, your table of content, I don't know why I always like it in the center. Okay, and now I would remove that because that is a part of my first title page, which would be the, name of your topic of the thesis or whatsoever. Okay, now if you see, the introduction is there, history is there because they were the heading 1. But within heading 4, you can see the subparts. Why? Because we chose heading 2. Like the same, we had challenge, which is 5, is heading 1, and 5.1 is the part of challenges, so it's a subpart of challenge, so it's heading 2. But we will go back because I saw that it should be here, it's coming down. So let's check it out and let's fix the problem. I would remove it from here. Okay, and I saw, that's why it wasn't here, because I didn't put it on the same line. So for example, you made a change, you did some editing, always go back, click on your table and go to update your table, and always choose update entire table. Let us see what happens. Now first challenge is on the right place. So like the same, my whole thesis would go way longer, so I'm keeping it separate. Ta-da! We are done. So that's the easiest way to prepare your table of contents. In the next video, I'm going to talk about how to add Roman numbers into your table of contents, because our title page, our the first few pages which are adding dedication or copyright, it does not include into these numbers. We are adding them with the Roman numbers. So the next video would be about that. Hope you have enjoyed the video. If you already have subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. If you haven't, you're welcome to the channel and share it with your loved ones. Stay happy, stay healthy.